of us doing that. This, the reality that's been created, which we support, is falling apart because it only serves the few. And I keep going back to one of those things that was said in a Star Trek movie. I think it was Spock who said it to Captain Kirk. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
Yeah.
And that's an incredibly wise perspective, and that is extremely relevant to what's going on today.
Yes.
The needs of the many do outweigh the needs of the few. And, the few have had control, and here we are, it's crumbling because it's become so corrupt. And it needs to crumble. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be painful. But it needs to collapse so that something else can be, something that's more fair, more uniform, more in line with, the needs of everyone,
Yeah.
I mean, for example, it's rumored that the Rothschilds of France and England and Germany are worth $500 trillion. Let's say it was half of that. It was only $250 trillion. Carlos, they couldn't possibly spend the money.
No.
There's nothing that they could spend it on to buy. So why not just free everyone's debt and let us start over?
Yes.
Why not do something like that? Or donate all the money to curing cancer and hunger, or creating free energy, something that would help everyone. And it's a testament that they do nothing like that, even though they can't possibly spend the money on anything, to not want to do it. So that's a testament that they're upside down. It's not us, it's them.
Yeah.
They have to go and hoard that kind of wealth and continue to want to hoard it and have absolutely nothing to spend it on.
Yes.
That would be in some places, and some psychologist's office called a psychosis.
Yeah.
So it's nuts. It's just nuts. So anyway, I do have the list of questions. Are you recording this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, yes.
I do have your list of questions here that you sent Audra. And we will go down through all of them. The only question I am not going to touch specifically is number 4.
Number 4. Okay, let me check.
And I'll kind of tell you why, and let's just address it up front. And, that was, regarding Jesus Cristo.
Okay.
Okay? I think I said that right in Spanish.
Yeah, I know. It talks.
And well, but let me just share this with you. Why?
Okay.
Okay. I was born and raised a Catholic, and I know what the A's have told me about this, saying that the biblical Jesus is a composite character, and I absolutely have no problem with that. Okay, with that being a biblical character. I mean, a composite character. Because if you know the history of the Roman Catholic Church, it is anything but benevolent and stellar.
Yeah.
Okay? And frankly, I think after the Inquisition, all of their credibility should have been gone. But the reason I don't necessarily want to address it specifically is because I myself have some confusion on the subject.
Okay.
And the reason that I have some confusion is the painting of Our Lady of Guadalupe. Okay? No one can figure out how it was made. You know that, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
And there's no problem.
Okay.
It's fine.
And also there's the Shroud of Turin. I have the enormous amount of questions regarding the Shroud of Turin. So I don't know. And also, for 1,500 years, the story of the Knights of the Templar and the Holy Grail, and Jesus being married and having offspring, I myself don't have any trouble with that story.
Okay.
Although I have been given pieces to it that are far different than what the church has been trying to sell everyone. But again, I don't necessarily trust the Catholic Church. To me, it's a government.
Yeah, it's a kind of.
It is. It operates a little bit differently, but it essentially does the same things. So I have some questions about it.
Okay.
And maybe, we can go in a little bit deeper on that later, but
sure.
But if you're ready, we can just start going through some of the questions, okay?
Yeah, sure. That's good.
All right, so what we'll do is we'll just go in order. So number one, do you want me to reread the question?
Yeah. Do I read it or?
Well, I'll read it.
Okay.
Nowadays, there's been a lot of confusion regarding the extraterrestrial activities due to several misinformations of this kind of stuff. Some people say that the Anunnakis are evil entities, and others say that they are some kind of benevolent teachers, as we can see on different ancient mythologies around the world, such as Mayans, Egyptians, Hindus, and others that talk about higher spiritual entities who teached them to grow technologically and develop a knowledge even more advanced than a lot of current scientific theories and methods. Do the Andromedans tell something to you regarding the Anunnakis? My response to that question is yes, and we'll discuss it. Now, you must understand that the Anunnaki were not just one tribe. They were several tribes, okay?
Okay.
And specifically, they are a collection of races from Orion, the star Betelgeuse, and the star system of Sirius.
Okay.
Sirius, okay? Now, within that, there are different groups and different evolutions. Now, in the Sumerian texts, they clearly talk about the relationship between two very specific branches within the family. The half-brother Enki and the heir to the royal line of Anu and Lil.
Okay.
Clearly, they approached humanity in very different ways. One would be considered very benevolent, and that would be Enki and his offspring. And then there would be those who were relatively ruthless and treated us as if we were a natural resource, and that would be that of Enlil and Anu. Clearly, they taught us horticulture and farming. They also taught us some of the sciences. Clearly, the Sumerian texts discuss our solar system, and we have records from the Sumerians describing our solar system from the outside in. So clearly, that came from an outside source.
Okay.
Now, each of those families and family members, regardless of their technological level, were evolving as well, some more than others. And, the old saying, as above, so below, has never been more prevalent than that. Now, you talk about the Egyptians. The Egyptians tend to lean more towards the Enki side of the family, okay?
Okay.
Especially in their gods, where the Hindu basically talk about both sides, even though they had different names.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. The Mayans, I believe, tend to lean more towards Enki side of the family than the Anu side. But again, they had a different language.
Yeah.
But now let's go back to the language issue in itself. I have been told that at one time all of humanity spoke one language. But then it was this decision of Anu to separate the cultures of Earth and to teach them different languages so that they would be more manageable, controllable.
Yeah.
Okay? To me, that's not an enlightened perspective. They did that on purpose to make us easier to control. Mornay and Visayas both have said that prejudice, it was an extraterrestrial perspective that had been taught to us. This perspective had been taught to us by the same group of the Anunnaki.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
So, not that we have 100% of all the history, because a lot of it's been hidden from us, but clearly